When they discover a monkey doll, two brothers activate it as a game, without knowing that this would unleash terror throughout the town, because everyone around them will start dying accidentally. Today, the monkey reminds you to support the channel by liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications if you enjoy the videos. It's free and really helps me grow. Let's get started. A man rushed to an auction house to return an item. A monkey figurine with blood on its clothes doesn't care, wanting to finish quickly. Even when he hears the seller say that it might be broken because it has one hand raised, the man specifically repeats that it should be that way. When he lowers it, something bad happens. And at that moment, the toy starts beating the drum with both hands, making the man scared, expecting the worst. It's just that nothing happens instantly until a mouse gnaws a rope that releases a harpoon, killing the salesman. As a consequence, thinking that the monkey figure is to blame for everything, the man grabs a flamethrower to get rid of it once and for all. In a change of scene, we meet our protagonist, Hal, who tells us about the tough childhood he had living with his twin brother Bill, because he has always made fun of him for being born 3 minutes later. He often fantasizes about ending his life, but never does, because deep down he truly loves him. It also introduces his mother, Lois, who raised them alone after their father left. Although, despite the stories, they saw his old things as a way to get to know him better, because he was a pilot who always brought them memories from his trips. In fact, that's where they find the monkey in a box toy for the first time. It says they need the key if they want to know what will happen next. Bill decides to act, believing it all belongs to him now, but interestingly, nothing extraordinary happens. The next day, since their mother will have a new blind date with a stranger, the siblings go with a babysitter, Annie, in her car, where they find the monkey already prepared for the trip, without knowing who put it there. Then, they arrive at a restaurant, one of those that put on a show before you eat, while we see the toy in the driver's seat as it starts playing the drum. Because while the chef puts on a show to show Annie that he likes her, a small unexplained accident causes his head to be cut off with the knife. After the funeral, Louis tells the children that everyone dies eventually because that's life, and they must be prepared to lose each of the people they love. To distract them, he takes them home to dance, since nothing helps forget someone just died in front of them like a good song. The next day at school, he hears a group of girls in the bathroom repeating Bill's story, that his father left because of him. But since his mother is the one who wears the pants in the house, he says he can't wear pants so he doesn't take her place. The boy returns home in his underwear, hoping Lois won't notice. Who discovers the monkey in his room? He asks her. Obviously, she doesn't know anything, because she hasn't gone in there since she found a sock, stiff. So he takes it to ask if it had anything to do with Annie's death, as if it were possible for a doll to have caused that. Just then, Bill arrives, mocks him for talking to himself, and says he'll let him keep the monkey if he calls himself Mrs. Monkey. A few days later at school, he finds the doll in his backpack. Later at recess, Mrs. Nina's and her brother come over with bananas and smash them on his body to mock him further. As a result, he runs to his room to blame the monkey for what they did to him. Although, as a way to vent, he ends up saying things he might regret. He activates it right as Bill arrives searching for his mother, and suddenly starts bleeding from every hole in his head. The doctors diagnosed it as an aneurysm, although Hal knew exactly what happened. His adult self explains that when the monkey is activated, it raises one hand and selects a target on its own, since it doesn't take requests as it has already shown. Now, both are in the care of their aunt and uncle, Ida and Chip. They're only close relatives. So that night, knowing his life wouldn't be the best, the monkey went to a table to cut off its arm, seeing that it bleeds. But that doesn't stop him from chopping it into pieces to put it in a garbage bag. In a change of scene, they arrive at their uncle and aunt's house, getting to know their new room in the attic, discussing how Bill refuses to remove the suit, knowing more funerals are coming. Then, the boy notices something strange at the window. The monkey is in perfect condition, so they take it to our protagonist to test it and ask him why he brought it. But he's even more confused, saying that he destroyed it before coming. And then, when he says it's an evil magic doll, Bill wants to test it to see if anyone else he knows dies when he activates it. No matter that it could be either of them, unfortunately, Uncle Chip dies the day after turning the key, trampled by a stampede of horses that ran over him at full speed, leaving his body crushed. This makes the brothers lock the monkey in its box with several chains. They throw it into a bottomless pit because knowing they can't destroy it, they try to contain it. 25 years later, Aunt Ida wakes from a noise and investigates with her weapon. But when she finds the basement empty, she falls onto a box of fishing hooks. So she runs to the bathroom to remove them with alcohol until she smells a gas leak. However, the stove is off when she gets close to it. But then it turns on, lighting up her whole head, causing a series of things that lead to her death. On the other hand, our protagonist tells us that the monkey is still locked up, although maybe it has found a way to free itself and return to society. Meanwhile, we see him working as a cashier in a store, saying that he hasn't spoken to his brother in a long time. He also hasn't made any friends, out of fear that the doll might come back to take away his loved ones. He tells his boss he'll leave early to visit his son Pitty for their annual visit. It's just that this is a condition he imposed on himself, because thinking that death surrounds him, he wants to risk his life. He accompanies his wife and her new partner Ted, who wants to adopt Pitty, so he won't have to see him again, because he's been asking about him a lot lately. So they want to keep him away, thinking that's been Hal's true wish for a while now. Meanwhile, we meet Ricky, a boy who finds the monkey in perfect condition at a garage sale. He decides to take it with the intention of selling it to a generous guy who never leaves his house. Back with Al and our protagonist on his day with Pitty, he helps her with her family tree assignment by answering questions, although he lies, saying that he doesn't have any siblings. At bedtime, he has a nightmare where the monkey is the one who cuts him down. When he wakes up, he gets a call from Bill, who tells him what happened to Aunt Ida. So he wants him to go to the house to make sure the doll isn't there. If it really got loose, things could worsen fast. Even though he's with Pitty, he tells him to leave since he's the youngest. That's when the call ends. Fate realigns itself, sending an electric current into a pool, which ends the life of a woman next to him. Why? He wakes the boy to change hotels, not wanting him to see the disaster outside. So then he tells him that he's a bit upset by the news about his aunt, which Pitty takes advantage of to ask him to go to his house together, because he knows that Ted plans to adopt him. So he wants to spend quality time with his father. The next day, after a nightmare about Luis, he notices the boy is gone and hears the monkey's drum, fearing the worst, until the boy calmly returns, saying he found parachute lessons. In a scene change, they arrive at the house where he asks him to stay there, but since the little one won't listen, he insists that he needs to use the bathroom in order to go inside. Just as Barbara, the real estate agent in charge of the property, appears, she claims to know him since Bill talked to her often, and she mentions him so much just to annoy the boy who didn't know she existed and calls his father a liar. But only for a short time, since soon she won't be anymore. Then, they both go in to see the belongings that were left after Considering that this week has been a bit hectic, because after his aunt's death, every day at least one person has had different fatal accidents. However, he wants to keep looking, since he's only searching for the monkey, and he even gets a little desperate. When they finally open a stuck door, a shotgun falls, fires, and blows her to pieces. A while later, the police interrogate him, asking him not to go too far so they can continue the investigation. Although he has to stay at a hotel because the mess left at the scene is enormous. Then, our protagonist receives a call asking for him, and when he finds out it's his brother, he explains that the monkey isn't there. After many clues, he realizes he might be in the same town. As a result, he looks through the phone book without much success, until he thinks to look under M, finding someone named Miss Monkey. But when he calls, he hears Bill's answering machine mention an ad about looking for his doll, though he no longer needs it since he apparently found it. And there, Hal realizes that every time he has been talking to him on the phone, someone has died, which means that he is the lonely guy who doesn't leave his house. Similarly, Rocky sold him the jumpsuit after the garage sale, so he's worn it constantly, hoping to kill his brother because he knows it was his fault that their mother died. Interestingly, we revisit the past as he says he went to the well after the funeral, planning to get the jumpsuit for an early revenge, but it had already gone, magically, leaving the key for him as a sign that it would soon return to his hands. In fact, he started seeing it everywhere, as if it were a sign of its return. It only motivated him to search places where he might find it, such as his aunt's house, causing the noise that led to her death. However, there, he found his old suit that he used to wear at funerals, so he took it to adjust it to his current size, because he wanted to be prepared for the deaths that would come, until he finally found it to begin his revenge. In a new scene, Ricky knocks on his door to ask for the monkey back, feeling like he should have it, as if something inside him wants it, although obviously the guy is not willing to give it back. But this motivates the boy to look for his father's police uniform, along with the gun he keeps, asking his military brother for some ammunition, because he won't take no for an answer. Meanwhile, our protagonist is driving with his son when the boy asks if he has ever taken a life. That's something he doesn't know how to answer, since he has done it, just never directly, because it's all been the fault of the evil doll. And then he tells him that when they get to a hotel, he'll talk to his mother so she can come get him. This disappoints Petey as he feels he just wants to get away from him. Although when he's in the room, he calls his brother again to accuse him and also asks him to stop turning the key because innocent people are dying. However, Bill suggests that he bring his son so that he can be the one to turn the key. He knows whoever owns the monkey can't be its victim, so he'll make him turn the key forever, with the intention of keeping him alive? Or will he be the one to activate the monkey, not caring who is next on the list? Hal searches for him in the bathroom, growing concerned when there's no response. Before Hal can break down the door, the boy opens it easily and tells him not to rush to get rid of him. However, he takes the opportunity to show that he really wants him in his life, but he's not willing to put him at risk, staying by his side. Just when someone knocks on the door, it's Ricky, wearing the uniform he uses as a distraction. But to get in, he threatens him with a gun. Unfortunately, he puts him in the car to drive to Bill's house, forcing the boy to go in with the intention of bringing him the monkey. But since Petey doesn't know what he's talking about, our protagonist explains to him that it's not a toy, but a demonic figure that attracts death. Unable to argue, the father simply asks the boy not to turn the key, knowing that's what his brother would want. Now, the little one enters the place full of deadly traps that he must avoid, mostly with his uncle, who is clearly not right in the head, since he talks to the monkey as if it were the figure of a god. When he sees him, he says he was always his favorite childhood toy, but since it's a bit broken, he needs him to be the one to activate it as a family tradition, which he does despite all his father's warnings, causing Ricky to die horribly from the wrath of some bees. When Bill sees the protagonist alive, he goes mad and beats the boy to force the monkey to take revenge and kill him. But we already know that this doll doesn't take requests, so it's impossible to make it work by force. As punishment, it activates with more energy, causing a plane to explode in town before Hal arrives to blame him for everything. But seeing that his brother is suffering because of their mother's death, he repeats her words, saying that everyone will die someday, because what happened was an accident. Just as the family seems to reconcile, the monkey delivers the final blow by shooting Bill in the head. Now, father and son leave town, seeing everyone is dead, but when he sees an apocalypse rider, he only remembers his mother's idea. Let's go dancing. This was The Monkey. Remember to like, comment which movies you'd like to see, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos.